Hey guys, what's going on? What is going on? Wrapping up, getting close to wrap up the end of the year 2019. We're kicking off for the week of December 23rd through the 27th. Got Christmas on Wednesday here, half day tomorrow, 24th. Marks close obviously on Wednesday. So it's going to be a short week, relatively short week, obviously. And a lot of people aren't even going to be putting on some risk this week. We're going to be obviously sitting, on the sidelines. Obviously, optimal situation pops up, we'll definitely take advantage of it. Otherwise, we're just going to be enjoying the holiday season. So anyway, let's talk quickly. Talk about last week. Obviously, SPY, tapped our 320 price target, obviously after it claimed that 300 and pretty much reclaimed, obviously losing that battle throughout the summer and took it over. It's just been running since. Obviously, ran up to what the 322 into the close on Friday, and then obviously you're seeing some selling pre-market. But again, reset 320. It's gonna probably be dancing around a little bit. Obviously that with the holiday week this week. Um, we're going to see. It's going to be interesting as far as what kind of volatility we're going to see in the markets heading into this last 2 weeks of the year. We're actually back pretty much a week and a half. So, anyway, SPY, you can see, pretty much consolidated in the beginning of the week, as you can see here. Some accumulation and obviously ripped up on Thursday and Friday, tapping, that 320, our price target, into the close session. We're going to kick it off with Netflix. We're going to continue going into the rest of the year with our securities. And on rotation, all these guys pretty much reached our price targets last week. Pretty solid week for us last week. Today, Netflix is obviously testing a pretty key level here of supply. So obviously, if you can crack through, there's a lot of real estate to fill. You have the 200-day moving average on the daily below it. So obviously, it's a nice bullish sentiment, nice moving average for kind of the line in the sand, pushing up prices. So we're going to see obviously how it performs around the supply level. If it continues to push higher, as you can see pre-market, we're seeing higher prices up already from last week's close. So we're still adamant. We're still bullish on Netflix, 100%. That bullshit Needham downgrade we had a couple weeks ago obviously was just positioning for the boys on the street. So you got to look a little deeper than these reports from these analysts. Obviously, there's always ulterior motives behind them, and this was a clear tale. Trade Desk actually was kind of the opposite a few weeks back, but that's a whole nother video. Anyway, so we're gonna be bullish for Netflix this week as well. Continue to hold these levels. Now it can risk off of supply, and if that's the case, we can definitely see 360 tap this week. Despite Christmas or not. So we're gonna remain bullish for Netflix. NVDA had a solid week last week as well. As you can see, traded up from the 225 to the 240 level, so it's a nice 15-point run. Reached our price targets as well. And again, these guys are still pushing higher. Coming into this supply zone, obviously, you're going to see what's going to happen, going into this holiday week. We still see prices pushing higher. You're seeing a little bit of, obviously, higher prices today, pre-market. So, we're going to continue to be bullish on NVDA. And as long as it holds these levels, and the trend's clearly in, obviously this could just be the beginning for 2020. So, again, going into the end of the year here, a lot of volatility. So, we're going to see, obviously, if this gives us some opportunities, we'll step in. Again, we're not going to be aggressive this week. We're obviously taking a step back because of the season, because of the holidays, excuse me. And, we're going to go from there. Again, if optimal opportunities present itself, then obviously we're going to take what we can get. But we're going to be bullish on NVDA. Roku, this is an interesting one. You got the 50-day moving average on top. It came into a nice demand zone on the daily, on the daily demand zone period, and it kind of had a nice bounce. So that's kind of leading to believe that we're going to see some higher prices despite these moving averages. Needs to defend. It defended that 130 last week, but it was a pretty we're not convinced. We think Roku is going to be pushing prices higher in 2020. Not sure how it's going to dance around into the rest of the year. So we do remain bullish on Roku. It has to remain putting in higher highs and higher lows and defending this 130. Right now it's obviously trading at the 137 level. Pre-market slight gap up from the close on Friday. So again, we're going to be bullish on Roku. But it's got to defend these levels and clearly continue this nice growth to the upside. Shopify was a monster again. Closed down 3 points, just shy of 3 points, obviously on Friday. But solid week overall. Breaching that 400 level that we had a price target at. Reached up was I think 405 tapped on Wednesday. So it's a significant level, obviously trading in the supply zone right now. We definitely see prices pushing higher again. We don't think it's done just yet. We think it's going to tap again that last week's high, and dance around that 405, 410 level range into the end of the year. We don't think it's going to sell from at this point. We think it's going to continue to push a little higher, at least test last week's high. So bullish for Shopify into this week's session. Tesla, these guys, man. Literally just squeezing shorts all the way to the bank. This 420 level that famous 420 secured from Elon last year, I don't know, whatever, last year, 2 years ago, I think it was last year, or the beginning of the year. Anyway, wouldn't be surprised one bit if 420 gets tapped. Maybe today actually. But the way it's looking, it's definitely going to probably dance around that level, 420, and then, after that point, then it's just a lotto ticket. So, look for higher prices this week. We're bullish on these guys, again, until the trend changes. Do not fight what the market's printing. I don't care what you read, what your opinion is. Do not fight what the market is printing. Shopify, we don't think it belongs in the 400s, but it doesn't matter what we think. Obviously, prices being printed higher, street pushing it higher. So, they're scooping up shares, so it's irrelevant how we feel about the company. But so we're bullish on Shopify. Tesla, same situation. We like Tesla. So they're first to market. They're movers. So obviously, these guys always. Anytime you're first to market, you're going to take the most bruises and bumps along the way. So and that's what's going on with these guys. So anyway, wouldn't be surprised one bit 420 gets tapped this week. Let's wrap it up with the trade desk. They closed just north of a point last week. Again, reached our target, and it's in that getting pretty much creeping into the supply zone right now. It's not, I don't think it's done yet. We're still bullish on these guys until proven otherwise. Again, there's plenty of meat on the bone moving forward. We think it can reach that 300 level in the beginning of 2020. It's definitely, not say definitely, but we definitely like that these guys are trading where they're at. They had a nice comeback from October, November, which is a very bullish signal. And we think that the street's going to be stepping in and continue to push prices higher around these levels. So we wouldn't be surprised one bit if this supply gets absorbed and demand pushes higher. So we're going to continue to be bullish on the trade desk. So again, we're bullish across the board. Roku, a little bit concerned about these levels. 130 to hold. If it does, then definitely can continue to push higher. But we're going to be standing on the sidelines and watching these guys this week. Pretty much all the securities, unless again, optimal opportunities present itself, then we'll step in. But anyway, guys, enjoy the week. Happy holidays to everyone. And question, reach out. We're here, guys. No matter what, holidays are here, but it doesn't matter. We're always here to help anybody looking to truly put in the work and to take their career to the next level. If you're a beginning trader, you actually have more advantage to a struggling novice trader because you haven't built any bad habits yet, right? You need to unlearn what you think you know. If you're struggling, unlearn what you think you know, right? Because what you think you know is the reason why you're struggling. You gotta stop thinking the way everybody else thinks. Not the retail traders. Don't follow all this stuff on Twitter. All this social media stuff is all by novice traders, guys. Understand the people that move the markets do not post their P&Ls and all that shit online, right? Think about that for a second. Actually, think about that concept going into the holiday season. See where you want to be trading, who you want to be trading, what side of the market you want to be trading with, okay? When most people buy, that's when the market's down. Vice versa. Think about that. All right, guys, as always, reach out to us. Be patient with your prices. Be patient with setups. And if you're wrong, mitigate risk. Cut your losses quickly. Reevaluate your positions. and hop back in if you were correct. If not, to learn from your mistakes and move on. All right, guys, happy holidays to everybody. And again, reach out to us if you have any questions. All right, later.
Remember to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our trading videos.